Hello everybody. Last time we talked about the joy response. The joy response is biologically speaking, the approach response. Now I want to talk about the avoidance responses, or anger, fear, and sadness. The reason, however, I'm going to talk about the fear response today is that the anger response typically follows the fear response. When you think of the classic fear response to the bear in the woods, it's fight or flight is the typical response. And so fight is our anger response. So I want to start with the fear response before I get into the other two. The fear response is basically what tells us when something is bad for us and could be harmful to us. So if someone is harmful to us or could be harmful to us, we have a fear response. When something's happening around us in our lives, which could be bad for us, we may have the fear response to that. That can be like, I can't pay my bills, I'm afraid I can't pay my bills, I'm afraid I may lose my job. All sorts of fear responses we have all the time, like we have joy and anger and sadness responses too. Worry is a fear response. It's a big part of our lives sometimes. Things vary for different reasons, but worry is a type of fear response also. So anyway, the fear response occurs with the other three in order to tell us what's happening in our lives. In this case, what is causing us to be afraid, to either run from it, to fight for it, or to figure out how to change it. We have many words that mean or are included as part of the fear response. They are words like anxious, panicked, afraid, scared, nervous, and stressed. Usually when we say the word stressed, we're having a fear response. We might be having an anger response or a sadness response, but usually when we say the word stressed, we are stressed, we mean we're having some sort of fear response. Could be moderate, could be high, could be extremely high. Panicked is another word we use as a fear response. Panicked is like a huge fear response, and that goes along with stress as well. But anyway, it's important. There's so many words in the English language that we have for the fear response that mean the fear response, just like we have many words for joy response and sadness response and anger response. The important point also to understand is that our fear response and all the words and all the meanings we have there are as equally important to the other three in terms of our healthy, normal, and functional and everything good about life responses. The fear response, the anger response, and the sadness response, they are not bad things. They're not bad responses. They are equally good to the joy response because they tell us something. We self-reflectively feel them and we can label them and think of them as bad emotional responses, but they are not. That's for a lot of other episodes that I'll be talking about, but it's critical to understanding our emotional systems and to experiencing them well and in a healthy way. Finally, the fear response is the basis for what we clinically call anxiety. So anxiety responses, or actually anxiety disorders, have their basis and they are all about the human fear response. Understanding that, understanding how to experience the fear response, how to know it to be a healthy response, a normal response, a functional response, is key to reducing anxiety symptoms, as we call them clinically. Panic attacks are a huge fear response. It's like a survival fear response. I'll talk about that a lot later. Panic disorder is being afraid of having another huge fear response, or the panic attack. That is an amazing understanding because it helps us eliminate or be cured from panic attacks and panic disorder. That's a huge thing. Millions of people, millions and millions have panic attacks, and millions of others have panic disorder. So all of this put together is understanding the fear response is something normal and functional and healthy for us, also helps us understand how to treat and get better from what we call anxiety disorders. So a lot more on that later in the episodes to come. The next 2 episodes will be all about the anger response and then finally the sadness response. Take good care, and until next time.